Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. We're going to be going over what I'm going to be buying this week. I'm going for what you would call top value. I notice a lot of things on the app are a lot lower than I would have expected them to be. And as such, I will be buying as many things as I possibly can before other people realize that the prices on these items are a bit too low. The first thing that I'm definitely going to be buying is Tales of Suspense number 52, the first appearance of the Black Widow. The commons are currently $4 on the VV app. The problem that I personally see here is that the drop price, I believe, is $6 or $7. I want to say $6.99. So this is below the actual drop price. Black Widow is a very significant character, regardless of what might have happened in the MCU. And I was going to say spoiler alert, but this was like 3 years ago at this point, so I assume many people know. She is still a character in the comic book. She is still around. She is still extremely relevant as a character as well. And the comic in the real world, even in low grade, still goes for several hundred, if not several thousand, in a higher grade. So a lot of times when I do purchase things, I myself see the value in them as far as previously before when the market was booming. Even terrible comics were going for around commons 20, 25, maybe 30 something or other dollars. And this is actually a major comic that tons of collectors would love to have, especially in the real world. So for price value, logically, to me, at some point, this $4 common is going to at least go back up to $8. I will have doubled my money, but I can probably assume that this is probably going to go above $20 or $30 or $40 at some point as well. So that is a 10x, and the value proposition just remains there because it is a relevant comic and will always remain relevant for a very popular superhero. Second on the list is Captain America number 117. This is the first appearance of the Falcon. You've heard me mention this many times before on the channel. The Falcon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is now Captain America. No surprise there. Once again, not a spoiler. It's been about a good year and a half, 2 years ago at this point since this storyline began. This is also currently $4 on VV. In the real world, in terrible condition, this comic still goes for several $100s. In higher conditions, it goes for a couple, I think one recently. I'm going to try and see if I can find the actual photo for it. I think a 9.8 of one of these, or 9.6, sold for I think over 100 grand. I think that's the number that it actually went for. For the foreseeable future, Falcon is going to be Captain America in the movies. He is slated to be Captain America in the next Captain America movie. And also in the comic books, he is still also Captain America. So I think at some point, hear me out here, this is probably, I don't know, I am not a psychic. I assume for my portfolio, this is probably at some point going to be a $100 common on the VV app. There's barely any there. The amount that are currently on the app continues to dwindle, as do all the other comics, but the price always kind of remains the same and or very low, which I find quite fascinating. So I will be buying a lot of these because I like the character. I like the idea of, this is me personally, I think a lot of the characters that we had since the 40s and the 60s, I like when they shake it up a little bit and we have something relatively new in the space. This is why I like a lot of the key issues that VV also has for the stuff after the mid 2010s, just because I like new characters, you know. Steve Rogers is amazing, but it's cool that someone else also now has similar powers as well, at least, you know. You understand what I'm saying. Number 3 on the list is Werewolf by Night. Number 32, this is the first appearance of Moon Knight. In the real world, this physical comic is worth a lot of money. I think the highest price I ever saw for it was around $50,000 to $60,000. This was like right before the TV show was about to come out. He is not an unpopular character. He is only going to remain popular. If you have not seen the Moon Knight TV show on Disney Plus, I implore you. It is incredibly good. And also, Not a spoiler, but the show was so good that they've now been greenlit for a season 2, which may already be in production. I'm not really sure. Commons are now $6 on the app, which is drop price. So why would I not be buying them for the exact price that they would have been before, when in the real world this comic is going for a lot? The amount of editions left on VV also continues to dwindle. Tons of people are buying it. I'm pretty sure you're seeing a pattern here. At some point, the commons will be, at least in my view, worth $30 to $40. It seems completely logical, and I think 30 to 40 is like on the low end, as more people continue to go back to the app and they start looking for stuff, especially as the market continues to pick back up. I think the prices on VV are nearly laughable sometimes, and I do tip my hat to the people who have remained quite dedicated and have been buying silently behind the scenes while a lot of other people are not paying attention, because this is going to cause a huge shakeup in the market when a lot of people try to buy these comics on VV and they realize that there are just not any left. A lot of times, I don't know if you may have seen the other videos where if I'm on VV, I do the thing I call the scroll. So basically just scroll once, like, you know, you'll be on the page, on the prices, you scroll to see where they go after one scroll. That's one flick of the finger. And usually the list ends and the last comic is usually listed for like $15,000, $16,000. There's only 19 left on the app. You kind of get the idea. So we're going to get to a point where these comics are going to be very expensive and no one can actually afford them. And the only people who will have them were the people who were paying attention over the course of the last year and a half. So it's always a very small fraction of people. The same exact thing happens in the cryptocurrency space. Tons of people don't pay attention to crypto when the prices are down. Prices go up, people make tons of money, and the people who got in late go, well, that's not fair. How'd they make all this money? Because they've been diligently buying all the time over the course of the last 2 years while everybody else wasn't paying attention. Same cycle, always the same in the cryptocurrency space. Nothing really new here. Number 4 is the amazing SpiderMan number 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. These are currently going for $6 on VV for whatever reason. So I myself will continue buying up a huge portion of them. It is the first appearance of probably Spider-Man's version of the Joker. It is his largest, greatest, most sinister villain who pops up all the time. No matter how many times you get rid of him, somebody else puts on a new green mask and drinks the Kool-Aid and they end up going completely insane and they fly around on that green thing that he had, the hoverboard or whatever that thing is. So it's the Green Goblin. It's $6. I don't know the previous all-time high. You can find them. There are a couple of websites that are actually free. You can find them out there where you can see like VV's current price movements and like where things were before. Same exact thing with Bitcoin charts. You can see the development of it. This was not a $6 comic. It will not remain a $6 comic forever. It's the first appearance of the Green Goblin. Anyone who thinks that this is going to remain at $6, I have some news for you. We can have a conversation about this in a good year and a half. And on top of that, I'm probably just going to be buying a bunch of random Ron English things. Some of these editions, there's about 21 left. Some of them have 14 left of some of his figures and little monstery things that he has. He's a major artist in the real world. And on VV, some of his pieces are selling for between $7 to $11. It seems really weird. So I will tell you, a lot of times I do see things that are very cheap on the app, and I personally don't buy them because I kind of wait for someone else to be able to acquire a piece of the pie as well. But then after 2 or 3 months when no one is buying at the low prices, I just kind of scoop up as much as I can because I feel like he's gonna continue to be a big artist over the next couple of forever? I don't know. Yeah, I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. Yeah, and I will most certainly, I was like, what else is there? Be talking to you all soon. See you.